Hello and welcome. This is Fabiana from Fabi Design Studio and I am so happy that you're here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a double layer cake topper. It's going to be a very basic one, so it's going to be super simple to achieve. This is actually the one that I selected in honor of my 30th birthday. I chose to make a cake topper because I think it's the simplest thing that you can do when you have a laser, and it's honestly something super profitable. It is actually one of my most sold items in my shop because if you look for the right people, obviously bakers in your area, they're always going to be baking cakes and they always want them to look amazing. So first things first, the materials that we're going to need today are going to be acrylic. I personally use black acrylic, clear acrylic, and gold acrylic. I use the clear acrylic for the backing area, I use the black acrylic for the text, and the mirror gold for the numbers. We are also going to use glue. I use Starbond's adhesive super glue. It is amazing. It is the perfect adhesive for any material. I use it on wood and MDF, acrylic. It is just such a strong bond. You don't have to worry about your pieces falling apart. It's also come with this super fine tip applicator just in case you're gluing very intricate or small thin pieces. It is perfect. So since we're going to be gluing very thin pieces, we're going to be using the applicators. They come with the glues automatically, so they come with a bunch of them, so you can just add each one whenever you need it. We are also going to be using precision tweezers. I love using precision tweezers, especially when I have my nails done. These are perfect for placing those super thin small pieces and also for removing the masking without damaging your piece or your nails. Well, like I mentioned before, it's a very simple and achievable project, so let's get going. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open our designer program. I personally use Affinity Designer. I find it super user-friendly and not so expensive as other options. It's actually pretty inexpensive. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna work on this design that I was playing around with earlier. It's a 30 and Fabulous in honor of my 30th birthday coming up. And we are gonna select our text tool. We are making a double layer topper, so we wanna make the elements and then we're gonna create a backing area where we're gonna glue those elements. We're gonna select our number 30. We want a font that it's easy to read, simple, and big. Now that we have everything in the fonts that we want, we are going to convert everything into curves so it's easier to move the elements around. This is where you get creative and you arrange everything the way you want it. Since our font is a little too thin, we're gonna make the stroke thicker so our piece is not that fragile and it doesn't break. Since we're using cursive, we gotta remember to merge all of our curves so it's not individual characters but a one single element. If we forget this part, our laser is gonna cut each letter individually and our word is gonna break. We also want to make sure we expand our stroke so our elements are as thick as we wanted them. If not, our laser is gonna cut the word and the border that we just created is not gonna be there. Now we group all of our elements and we duplicate them to be able to create the contour. That is gonna be the base of our cake topper. Once we have our border as thick as we want it, we're gonna select add so it solidifies in one single piece. We're gonna delete all the spaces that we have here so our acrylic doesn't break once we cut it, and then we are good to go. Now for our stick, we're gonna select a rectangular shape and we are gonna center it to our cake topper. Then we're gonna add a triangle at the bottom to make it easier to stick in the cake. And once we have both shapes, we're gonna select them together and merge them to make one. It's very important that you keep in mind the size of your cake topper so you make a stick that is thick enough so your cake topper stays in place. A very standard cake topper size is about 5 inches wide, but you can also make it based on the size of the cake. 2 inches smaller than the diameter of the cake is usually the way to go. Now that our stick is ready, we're going to select both the outline and the stick and we're going to weld them together. Once our design is finished, we're gonna import it into Lightburn and we're just gonna make sure we select the right settings for each step. In my acrylic, I am using Speed 23 maximum power 80, minimum power 80, and high air assist on. For my scoring, it'll be 2125 on speed, maximum power 10, minimum power 10, and for my other cutting, it's also the same. I just put it in a different color just so I can identify each step as different. Once everything is ready, we're gonna send it to our laser and we are ready to go. Now that we have all our pieces, it's time to start assembling them. You can see the scoring area, which is gonna help us align everything perfectly. And what I like to do first, since this is clear acrylic, I don't wanna stain it with the glue. I use glue, you can use 3M tape, any other way of gluing the pieces together. I personally just like using glue. So what I'm gonna do is I am only going to remove the masking of the areas that I'm gonna be gluing. So right here, I like using these precision tweezers because it makes it a little bit more easy to remove all the masking, and especially when you got your nails done. For the text, although we're not gonna be gluing these parts, we are still gonna remove the masking too, just because it's easier to clear it before adding the glue. And it's not a part that it's actually very visible. So in case your glue bleeds a little bit, you're not even gonna be able to notice. Now, our topper is ready for gluing. All the area that we don't wanna add glue to is protected by the masking, and everything else is ready. We're gonna remove the masking of our pieces as well, just the back area, because we're gonna be working with glue. We wanna keep it as clean as possible, so we're not gonna remove the top part of the masking until we're done gluing everything, just in case we get a little dirty and we touch our pieces on the top, we don't get them stained. Acrylic is very fragile and it's very easy to stain or scratch, so we wanna keep it protected as long as possible. So we got that right there. Our letters, we're just gonna remove the masking of the back. I'm gonna be using my favorite glue ever. This is from Starbond. It's honestly such a great adhesive. This has different thicknesses. It's got thin, it's got medium thick, depending on the project that you are working with. The one that I use the most is the medium thick, just because of the consistency is easier to work with. Mind you, this glue is super strong. So once you put it on, you're done. So you gotta be very careful when placing your pieces. We're gonna use this super fine tips that come with the glue. So we're gonna place it just like that. Just gonna put this right over here. And I'm gonna add my glue to my letter very carefully. And if you feel like you want too heavy on it, just dab it a little bit, and then you can place it on your topper. And here is the final result. This looks beautiful. I really like how it looks like it's floating. So it's honestly not gonna be oversaturated on the cake. It's very elegant. It just looks perfect. And here's a big piece of advice for me. If you enjoy this video, if you enjoy making this cake topper, go and reach out to your local bakers. Go on Instagram, search for local bakers and reach out to them. Let them know that you can offer them your services. You can create cake toppers for them. And they are honestly the perfect market for you. I think cake toppers are amazing just because they can be extremely simple or super elaborated. You can go with double layers, different types of acrylic, textures, colors, and it's just so fun to work with them. You get to try every single acrylic that you like and just put them in something so small that goes on top of a cake, and it just makes it beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, this project, that you find it helpful. Like I said before, cake toppers are really profitable when you own a laser. I am going to link all the providers that I got my materials from, my glue, my acrylic, my favorite, everything that I use here. So if you want to learn more about different cake toppers, different techniques, different projects, different creations with your laser, please feel free to follow. You can find me on my social medias at Fabi Design Studio. I am on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. And I really hope to see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so happy that you are here.